It's Wednesday, December 29th, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. Democratic Labour Party candidate for St. Philip West, Dr. David Estwick, is returning to the political ring, and he believes he can regain the seat from the Barbados Labour Party. In an exclusive interview with Barbados Today, Dr. Estwick said that after taking a few years to reset and refocus, he is now ready to offer himself as an alternative in the January 19th, 2022 general election. Estwick was swept out of office in the 2018 election when he was defeated by the BLP's first-time candidate John King. This time around, he will face Senator Kay McCartney, another first-timer. However, he told Barbados Today he was returning to public life because he is not confident that Barbados's current economic trajectory will make it easier for average Barbadians to survive.
I had to decide that there's no way I should see Barbados in this particular state and not utilize my experience and my skills and knowledge at this time to attempt to make lives of average Barbadians better and attempt to create the opportunities to sustain that development and the future growth for all Barbadians, and in particular the people of St. Philip West.
A politician of over 25 years, Estwick said he is now in a better position to serve.
I've lost, and I take that loss in stride. But what it has done for me is to have given me the opportunity to refocus. And it has also given me the opportunity to have taken some time off, a sabbatical. I asked the party formally to give me a couple of years off. I wrote the Democratic Labour Party and said, give me a couple of years off. Because I was going for 25 years straight. And I thought it was important that after that type of political sojourn, that you stop and take stock and refocus and re-energize. And one of the things that I thought was necessary during that period of time was to strengthen my understanding of the relationship of government and the people, in particular economics and the development and the enhancement of people's lives, etc., etc. And I think that the 2-3 years that I've kept my mouth shut, that people were wondering whether Estwick is going to ever be back in politics again, I was using those 3 years very productively because I knew what I wanted to achieve. Now I think that I have not only recharged the batteries, but I have distilled out the specific knowledge that I need to be able to use going forward in helping Barbados out of this hole that is in, and obviously helping to enhance the lives of the people of St. Philip West.
Opposition Senator Franklyn says he has no interest in elective politics and as such will not be contesting next month's general election. Franklyn, who is a member of the Bishop Joseph Atherley-led People's Party for Democracy and Development, said he did not believe he could balance his job as a General Secretary of the Unity Workers' Union and a Member of Parliament at the same time, as they were both very demanding. He, however, acknowledged there was a possibility his stint in the Senate was at an end, but assured Barbadians they will continue to hear his voice on important issues. Barbados Labour Party newcomer Corey Lane says he was caught off guard by Monday's election announcement, but he's ready to contest the poll. The 39-year-old Lane will be contesting his first election as a candidate for the city of Bridgetown after being chosen to replace the incumbent Member of Parliament for the area, Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostick. Hours after the Prime Minister's announcement that the general election will be held on January 19, 2022, Lane went with members of his team to reach out to constituents.
I am still shocked standing up here now. I totally understand it from the perspective as yes, I believe we do need to unite. When I look at COVID worldwide, as a people we got to come together to fight this, because this is humanity versus COVID, you know. And I think we got too many segmentations, too many divisions, and a lot of them are artificial. At the end of the day, there's a threat to us as a human, a species, and it must be an equal response. I mean, humanity needs to come together. And I believe that that is what we're trying to attempt here, putting Barbados under the flag. and rallying together against one common enemy, which is COVID-19.
He told Barbados Today he was confident in winning the seat, but acknowledged that he would have some big boots to fill in replacing Bostic.
Well, for me, I see this as just another step, because for the last 24 years, I've been working with the people, and there's another way to work with the people, so that's why we believe that I will be ready. For the actual elective politics now, from the party level, I am in the process of getting ready, because to me, this is something new to me. Working and serving people, not new. Working in this capacity, new. So again, in a state of readiness for that aspect of it. I think I believe my chances are great. At the end of the day, I left the decision with the people, and I'm not only filling great shoes, but great boots, coming off Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic, and I believe that he left an excellent wicket, not only for the constituency, but for the country. And I'm definitely going to be working along with that. So I do believe my chances are really good. By the end of the day, I'm humbled by the opportunity to serve the people at this level.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, my name is Christian Paul. I'm the country manager of BCIC here in Barbados. When the COVID vaccine first came out, I thought it was an interesting and a potentially successful way for us to navigate our way out of the pandemic and a return to some state of normalcy. I took the vaccine because I have a young family. I want to make sure that they are safe and protected. I have friends, extended family, and obviously I work here with colleagues, so I thought it was a good way to help protect them and to keep them safe, as well as myself. I would encourage others to take the vaccine because I know that you can still transmit the disease even if you're vaccinated, but the chances of being severely ill or worse, dying, are significantly reduced.
Let's roll up our sleeves and get back to living.
News from the region: decisive decisions will have to be made on the issue of COVID-19 vaccinations within the Royal Grenada Police Force. We hear more about what the country's police commissioner, Edwin Martin, had to say on the matter in this GBN report.
Commissioner Martin says some 600 officers are vaccinated. He expressed concern after more than 200 police officers contracted COVID-19, with many placed in isolation and 2 recorded deaths during the country's community spread of the virus.
It's causing a strain on the organization in terms of having to float vaccinated officers to areas that requires that emphasis. Quite frankly, I do not know how long, and as we move more to different establishes, businesses and organizations requiring vaccination, the mere fact that this exists, it pressures the organization more to have higher levels of vaccination in the force.
The COP said high levels of infection within the force brought the RGPF to a tipping point where the force could have come into question to be able to deliver effectively its mission and mandate in keeping the people and the country safe.
We cannot go back in that area. It means, therefore, that the leadership of the force has to make some decisive decisions to avert us reverting into this kind of possibilities into the future.
And finally, health officials in the United States have cut the recommended isolation time for asymptomatic persons with COVID-19 by half. More in this report from Reuters TV.
U.S. health authorities on Monday cut the recommended quarantine time for people with COVID-19 who are asymptomatic from 10 days to just 5 days in an effort to help with staffing shortages and get students back to school as Omicron tears through the country. The CDC also said people who have tested positive should wear a mask around others for 5 days following isolation. U.S. President Joe Biden on Monday pledged to ramp up production of COVID-19 tests as the Omicron variant threatened to overwhelm hospitals, spoiling travel plans as it spread across the country.
Seeing how tough it was for some folks to get a test this weekend shows that we have more work to do, and we're doing it.
Biden said his administration will use the Defense Production Act to boost at-home test manufacturing. Breakthrough infections are rising among the fully vaccinated population, including those who have had a third booster shot. The average number of new cases has surged 55% to over 200,000 new infections per day over the last week, according to a Reuters tally. Biden warned governors that the spike in cases was likely to overwhelm some hospitals, stretching thin staff and equipment like ventilators, particularly in areas where fewer people are vaccinated. He told governors the administration would provide any additional resources they need.
We're going to have your back in any way we can.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.